HTML5 and CSS tutorials for beginners. Inheritance and specificity explained. Let's take a look at our sample document, and we can see we have 3 different article sections. So now let's understand inheritance. Let's say HTML element. Let's select HTML tag and style that. And let's say font size 22 pixels. And let's also set color to be a bright color. And let's set font weight to be bold, so it stands out. Now we have not styled the article or the P within the article. We just styled the HTML tag itself. Let's refresh the page and see what happens. Now all these styles are being inherited from its parent or its ancestor. Think it like that. To demonstrate another point, let's style the article now. And let's give font size to that. Let's say 10 pixels. Let's save changes. Let's refresh the document. Now, specificity has won because article is more specific in this example, which will win in its calculation. So think of inheritance as the rules are being inherited from its ancestor. Make sense? So in this example, the first example was HTML. So if I just use this, all these font sizes will inherit rules from here. But if I then say, you know what, no, I want to have specificity and apply rules according to the elements that you want, then we use more specific rules. Another example then would be, let's say article and P. Now that is more specific of a rule than this or this in terms of the font size. So therefore, let's apply 33 pixels. That means these paragraph elements we have selected within an article will have this rule. Let's refresh, as you can see. Now let's imagine this scenario though. Let's set 2 different ones and let's save changes. So we have same rules but with 2 different values. Now which one will win? Let's refresh. The second one has won. Why? Because it is closer to the element itself. That's the best way that I can simplify specificity for you. Think of it closer to the element, as in the position of the selector, the property and the value, closer to the element, HTML body element, it will win. That means if I set the first P to have a style and have font size 16 pixels, that will win. Why? Because it's closer to the element itself. Think it like that. Let's refresh. The first article has that because the rule that I'm specifying is more closer. It's more specific. So specificity calculations are rather very complex. I've tried to simplify it for you. Remember, the more specific the rule that you're specifying will always win. That means I could make it even more specific by using these tags. because then the calculations will take into equation the value for this in specificity algorithm, and this and this. And yet this is still more specific. Let's do this. Let's remove that. Let's say 33 pixels there. Let's refresh. Still same. So you can define rules according to your wants. You can begin adding it from HTML if you want to be more specific. One more thing before I close up. Depending on your wants, you can also use the important tag, which then increases the value of its specificity. So remember that you have that option as well. And I'll talk with you in the next video session.